now we get to the next speakers. Now I'm glad and proud to welcome a speaker from Rosenbauer. Rosenbauer is a partner and a customer of TTControl. And Emanuele will have a conversation with Severin Wiesmüller. They will talk about the application of the TTC 2300 in Rosenbauer's firefighting solutions. On top of that, I think they will also share some insights on the customer relationship between Rosenbauer and TTControl. Good to have you here again, Emanuele, and welcome, Severin.
Thank you.
Hello again. Severin, thanks for having you here today, and also thanks for taking your time to come here so that we are able to discuss now how you use our products in your machines. Maybe just to start, could you give our audience a very quick introduction of what you do as a company?
For sure, Emanuele. Thank you very much for having me here today to also introduce Rosenbauer. So, Rosenbauer is really a full liner for the firefighters. We serve all the needs for the fire services, starting from boots up to the helmet, from small portable pumps up to those big trucks where I have some examples here, from digital solutions like telematics system, fleet management, or also operations management. We have a revenue of around 1 billion euro with around 4,000 people over headcount. And yeah, we are the world's biggest exporter for fire trucks and serving all over the world. So we have a sales and service organization in around 150 countries. Yeah, we have also production facilities actually in 3 different continents. So in Asia, Europe, and in the US, we are producing fire trucks.
That's some really impressive numbers, I have to say. And actually, that's also what makes us really proud to be able to work with you on the projects, especially on the electronic side, of course. We come to you as a partner, or we speak with you, we try to speak with you as a partner. Can you maybe give some insights from your perspective, how it is to work with TTControl?
Sure. As you already said, it's a partnership. So it's really much more than just a customer-supplier relationship. And we can see this because we usually play with open hands. The engineers talk directly with the other engineers from the other company. If there is any issue coming up, let's say now the crisis everyone is facing, not getting parts all over the world, we made sure by really working together that we never had to stop our production because of any parts missing, and we value this relationship very much.
This is what we value as well. So the partnership aspects of our relations with the customers, especially of course also with Rosenbauer. The relation with Rosenbauer, or actually the history with Rosenbauer, already dates back some years. So maybe can you give also brief some words about how our cooperation actually started?
Yeah, we started in 2015 when this truck here for the airports was introduced in its latest generation, and all the ECUs we had in our portfolio at that point of time have not been safety certified. And we knew now at 2015 we have to be safety certified for our drivetrain, and we just looked into the market, and TTControl just gave the best offer back then for the hardware in combination already with the safety certified software. And this is how it started.
Can you maybe give some more details about the reasons why you decided in the end for TTControl?
Back then, it was really just a decision for that one project. Now we are working on a much bigger scale with each other, as you know, and there are various reasons. Actually, when we ended up now changing all our ECUs to TTControl ECUs, there was a consultant involved, an external consultant who was screening all the market. We had the basic idea that we want to move to off-the-shelf products, while before we were having customized ECUs. And then, well, we had a lot of different companies giving our offers. And in the beginning, TTC or TTControl was having a very strong technical value, and we had some issues on the costing. And then really came in the 2300 series, which fitted much better than the existing ECUs to our architecture of the trucks. And then in the end, finally, you were also able to make an offer which fitted financially. And then really, it was the perfect fit in the combination of these off-the-shelf products, as well as being able to serve all our safety needs as well in the chassis with ISO 26262, as well as on the body with the EN 13849. And of course, that you are able to have your software development center in Brixen was one of the big assets that we decided for TTControl. One more thing I would like to mention is also the quality and reliability with TTControl coming from an automotive background. Since most of the other companies which were in our screening have more of an industrial background, it was really a pleasure for our engineers to see that whatever we usually were fighting with other suppliers is just out of the box for TTControl, since you're serving also other needs. It's the same production line as for the automotive customers. So there are really a lot of benefits from this. And I already told you before, we are producing on 3 different continents. So having a global network also with Heideck was perfectly fitting our needs, because we really want one ECU on all of our fleet.
It's really impressive actually how all the highlights that I also mentioned in the brief company highlight and company presentation that I gave really matter for you as customers. So it shows somehow that what we do is the right thing for the needs that you have. It was a lot of, let's say, environmental reasons why you decided. Also, of course, commercial aspects, which are very relevant for all customers, of course. But can you give maybe some, specifically to the TTC 2310 that you're using, some more technical aspects why you chose for exactly this variant or this controller?
Sure. So the one thing for sure is a strong processor, strong outputs, which everyone needs, or maybe we need even more with a lot of lights on the trucks. And one thing which was really important for us is the freedom of interference with the safety part and the non-safety part, because we have a lot of parts in our software which are highly customized. In almost every country of the world, there is a different normative, a different ways of how fire trucks should look like, how they should function, different perspectives of firefighters also of what do they expect of their fire truck to perfectly serve their need. So there is always a change in the software. But of course, in a drivetrain, if we always, whenever we change a software, we have to recertify the whole software, it would be a pure nightmare for us. So this is one of the very, very big assets those controllers have. And since they are so flexible also in configuration of the inputs and outputs, they are having the ability to be our standard ECU for really almost everywhere in our products, whether they are produced in the US, whether they are small, whether they are big. And this is very important for us, since usually we use in our production one ECU for like 10 years, and then all the fire trucks are in service for maybe another 25 or 30 years. We need to make sure we are using one kind of ECU on almost all the products, because it's just a nightmare for our customer service in the end when they have to serve all these different generations and different kind of products. And then even within the generation, we have maybe 5 different ECUs. It's just too much to handle.
Speaking about the products and the complexity within the product and trying to keep it simple with the electronics, can you just maybe tell the audience how you exactly use or implement the controllers in your vehicles? What actually do they do?
It's basically for everything. As I said, it's our standard ECU. So whether it's the control of such a high reach extensible turret or lights or the gateway to the chassis communication, it's really used for everything. Yeah? Switching on the lights, it's much more challenging that some might expect. There is quite a high starting current for the LED flashers, and all these kind of things are, there is really the TTC 2310 in our case is used for those applications.
So interesting. And our application engineers are working day and night with Rosenbauer to make that possible, of course. To round it up and to maybe finish also with some challenges, because this is also always very interesting to know. Did you encounter any challenges in your, especially in your lead projects that you had with us? And how did you solve them? Did you solve them?
Yes, we did solve them. Otherwise, I would not be standing here today, maybe. In the end, let's say one thing were the high currents I already mentioned. And we highly appreciated that someone, also the producers of those lights, all the technicians or the engineers from our suppliers there could get in touch directly with your engineers and come up with a solution for our problems. Then another thing, a big challenge was actually also the change of mindset within our company. Since before we had the customized ECUs, we had to adjust ourselves to put some relays maybe in addition, but of course with the benefits of having an off-the-shelf product, with having a completely different quality, and we see it whenever any issue comes up, which is quite rare. It's tackled really fast, and of course with an off-the-shelf product, it's not always you as a customer who's having all these issues, but you can benefit from all the other customers having other applications and going through other issues maybe before. One more challenge was also, of course, when one of the environmental tests was failed, and also there it showed the open relationship, because it was not something TTControl tried to hide or something. And we also live this new agile lifestyle, let's say, where we say fail early, fail often. And it's important for us that these kind of things are already figured out during the development phase. The products are really thoroughly tested already for all the environmental conditions, and in the end also solved already before the product is out there in the market.
And that's also, let's say, a way how you can see the developments for us inside, because as lead customer, of course, you have a much deeper insight to our development process for these new ECUs compared to any other customer at the moment. But of course, we're very glad it resolved beneficial and quickly for the both of us. So, Severin, thank you really much again for taking your time and for us for having the opportunity to discuss the TTC 2300 together. And I hope we could give the audience a very great insight on how you, as an exemplary customer, implement this control unit into your products.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Severin, in particular, and also thank you to Emanuele. It was an extremely interesting discussion, and I think I learned a lot during the discussion, and I didn't know everything you were talking about. Thank you for that.
Thank you.